Hey guys, welcome back to the Grant Mitt Podcast, episode 109. And in this episode, we're going to be talking about manifestation and how to actually create the life and the version of yourself that you want like this. It doesn't take as long as you think. I first learned about manifesting from the book, The Secret. My mom got it for me. Man, I must have been 8 or 9 years old. And so the power of positive thinking was always a really big component in my life. But I felt like early on, and I noticed this in my life, is that I would say all these positive things. I had a lot of wishful thinking, but I feel like I just always got the short end of the stick. It seemed like nothing would really work out in my life. So I started really studying energy closely and the laws of nature and why things end up turning out the way they do. And I started noticing that saying really positive things over and over again, it's better than saying negative things. But if the emotion is not tied to it, you cannot create what you're actually saying. It's like hitting your head against the door, hoping something's going to happen. It just won't work. So I studied this so much, and then I figured out the differences in how anybody, in just this 15 to 20 minute podcast, can learn how to create anything and live the life ultimately that you want. Okay, so number one is I highly recommend you start meditating. Meditation is like, look at a car and imagine there's a problem with the engine. You can yell at it, you can say positive things, you can do all these nice things, but it doesn't matter if you don't open the hood and actually work on the actual engine. Meditation is one of the only ways to actually get into the hood of your mind, basically open up, get into the engine of your mind and make actual changes. The things that you believe, especially all the information and core beliefs that are in your subconscious, was created through every experience that you had in your life. But most importantly, those first 7 years of your life where you basically were shaped into who you were and who you've become. So we have to open up that. And you do that by first getting your brain into a theta state. Okay, the best way to do this is relax, put on some meditation music, and focus on breathing in and out, and in and out, and doing it and pausing for about 2 to 3 seconds for each breath. You want to take massive breaths. And as you're breathing these deep breaths, that's how that light, that energy gets into your body. Now, when you do this, focus all of your intention and energy only on the breath. And I want you to intently feel the body expanding and then going back in, expanding and then going back in. Now, as you start doing this, you're going to notice in about 3 to 5 minutes that your brain and your body relaxes. It's going to feel very light. This is when your brain is going to enter into the theta state, which also occurs right as you wake up and right when you go to sleep. This is when you can actually get into the system, the hardwiring of your brain, and actually make changes. For anybody that's an entrepreneur, business owner, or you're just simply looking to find a new side hustle this year, Dynadot is incredible, and I've used it to purchase multiple domains. Not only that, it's an incredible platform for buying and selling them. So think about it. If you have this incredible idea for a future business or a name that you think is going to be big in the future, you can actually purchase, and they have unbelievable tools to help you put it to the marketplace and sell it potentially for a profit. I'm going to put the link in my bio, or you can click below for the link to check it out. Once you've done this, you've opened it up, start utilizing affirmations. And start saying in a present tense, not I want to be successful, not I want to be wealthy. Say, I am wealthy. I live in abundance. I am successful. I am happy. I am fit. Whatever the things that you want to create, say it over and over again. And when you say it, feel the emotion that's associated with the words that you're saying. Okay, and then third, we've talked about this in other podcasts, just visualize that life playing out, that new version, that dream version of your life and yourself. Let it play out like a movie or a TV show in your mind. And what happens is you're going to notice within probably 2 to 3 hours, you're going to feel better. You're probably going to start noticing some weird coincidences. But you do this for 3 to 5, maybe 10 days, all of a sudden, people are going to start hitting you up out of nowhere. You're going to get random opportunities. Things that used to be really, really difficult are going to suddenly happen. People that have been in your life are going to suddenly fade away and disappear. The reason is now you're starting to recreate yourself and operate on a different frequency. This is massive. And the last time I talked about this was probably six months ago on my podcast in a different version. And I had people say, Grant, I implemented this, and I kid you not, within 2 days, everything changed in my life. All of these weird circumstances started occurring, and it doesn't take long. Okay. Next is that you want to go out and experience this life that you're trying to create in a tactful way. And I'm not only talking about like we'll talk about this in a second with actions and discipline and strategy and all that stuff, but I want you to kind of start living like you're that person. Early on, I had one of my best sales managers that started, when he first came to the company, he was only making 40, 50 grand, and then he ended up making well over 200 grand a year. One thing I had him do is I said, look, I want you to start dressing like the role that you want. You know, you want to become a sales director, you want to do this, you want to make this much money. Start wearing a really nice blazer, nice shoes every day. Invest in it, do it. And I want you to just walk into a restaurant, when you walk into a grocery store, just carry yourself like you already have that role. And I want you to read the things that you need to learn to become this person. About 2 to 3 weeks later, he told the entire company, or the sales part of the company on our Zoom, he said, it's weird. I started dressing nicer and everyone calls me boss now. He said, if I valet a car, I go to a restaurant, I get a nicer table. The waiter's nicer to me. They treat me better. I feel like my sales have gone up, my team. He's like, everything just gets better. And it started a trend in the company where everyone started dressing nicer. They started carrying themselves. I saw one of the guys on his team jumped on. I said, man, he looks like you're running for office. Everyone started carrying themselves differently. The whole company's morale, performance, conversions, and income went through the roof. Why is that the case? They started acting and operating like you were that person. I, for some reason, thought that I would just get this big break one day. And suddenly someone would reach out and be like, there's something different about you and give me this opportunity, and then it would just work out. But I found out I was that person. You are that person. You are the person that's going to take your life to the next level. Not some person at a networking event. You are. Nobody wants to network with someone who isn't doing anything, that isn't bringing something to the table. No one wants to do business with a company that they don't think is good. The world is following their intentions. So you have to become the person that you think about. You want to accomplish all these things. You got to become a person that can produce, maintain, and keep that level of performance. And when you truly study what the best and the best do, their preparation, their attention to detail, it is not shocking whatsoever why they're so successful. It's not because they said a bunch of positive things and spun around in circles. It's because every single thing that they do, the way they dress, the way they think, their meditation, their work ethic, them taking care of their bodies, the people that they're learning from, the actions and the work ethic that they have, the team, it aligns with that thing. And so you can easily attract what you want, guys, when you become that person today. Let's think about it. Whatever your income is for this year projected, I want you to put it down on a sheet of paper. And I want you to write down the things that you actively do on a monthly basis. Who you spend your time with, the books you read, the content you consume, the people you've been around. And what you can identify is those types of people, content, and information will likely align with the income that you're making. So simply go study, let's say you want to make $1 million now. Start studying what people who make over $1 million a year, what they read, where they go, what things they study, where they live, and start associating and putting yourself in those environments to create that version of yourself. The thing that I did when I was living out in New York, and a lot of you guys know my story. If you don't, you listen to the earlier episodes. I would leave my small little basically apartment, dorm apartment type of situation with all my roommates, tight, smaller than this podcast room. And I would go out and go to the nicest part of New York. I'd get on the subway, I'd go to Fifth Avenue, I'd go to the nicest hotel, the nicest building. I'd walk around in Central Park. I would act like I was already who I wanted to become. Then I would go to a Barnes & Noble and sit there and read all of the things to essentially brainwash myself into becoming this person. Think about it. No matter what you like or dislike, if you started studying and practicing piano for 5 hours per day with the greatest pianist ever, no matter how musically inclined and talented you are, do you think in a year you'd be pretty damn good at piano? Of course. Hey, for anybody that's an entrepreneur or business owner, I partnered up with Dynadot. It's an incredible platform for buying and purchasing domains. I've used it for multiple companies that I've started. Not only that, it's an incredible way to start a side hustle. Buying and selling domains is an incredible way to make extra money this year. And there's a marketplace set up on this platform to do just that. If you guys are interested, I'll put the link in the description and the link in my bio so you guys can check it out. If you studied leadership, sales, persuasion, psychology, and finance for 2 hours a day, and you went out and took the best knowledge in the entire world, you think you would be a little bit better at business and finance in your life a year from now? Of course. And I wish I could give you guys this cool, complex secret hack, but you literally need to brainwash yourself. Literally. Put so much information that if you learn it, your life is going to change and it's going to get better and you're going to achieve the things that you want. And most importantly, eliminate any person or information or bad energy that would derail your dreams and your goals and your targets from happening. Shield yourself. I was just having this conversation recently, I just don't have problems with people anymore. It's rare. It's a very, very rare occurrence because I don't have negative people around my life. All of my closest friends, people that work in my companies, that I do business with, that I associate with myself with, they're as good. And honestly, a lot of them and not most of them are better than me. They make me go, man, what the hell am I doing? I need to step it up. I have friends accomplishing unbelievable things that I didn't know 2 years ago because I knew I had to be around not only like-minded, but people who would push myself to do better. And you have to look at your life the same way. We have to force growth, not hope for it, not pray for it, but go after it with everything that you got in you, okay? And so look at your life that way. Now, the key to manifestation is doing this consistently. Think about it. We've curated your thoughts. We've curated your visualizations. We've curated your environments. We've curated your people. And we've, most importantly, curated the knowledge that is entering your brain every single day. When I first did this for the first time when I was living out in New York, I noticed about 3-4 months later, people started kind of treating me differently. 6 months later, all of a sudden, one of my coaches, and I never really told them too much, they said, Grant's going to be a CEO. I'm like, huh? Really? They're like, yeah, I can just tell. Teachers that used to get mad at me, blah, 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 were now respectful. They were kind. The people I was attracting were better. This is going to start happening to you fast, but you have to be intentful about what you're doing. The mistake and what kills manifestations from occurring is you do these things for a week and then you stop. And so you were operating this really high frequency. You were thinking the right thoughts, you were taking the right actions, and then you dip back and flatline to where you used to be. Therefore, attracting those other people, those other circumstances, and ultimately the life that you don't want. So if you can consistently protect your energy, protect your brain, and curate what you're trying to attract, it'll occur. Utilize affirmations, guys, every single day. The second you wake up, you're still in a theta state like we talked about. Say all of the things that you want in a present tense. I am wealthy. I am confident. I am successful. I am loved. I'm grateful. Over and over and over again. In the first couple of days, it's going to feel like you're just a crazy person talking to yourself. But then you're going to notice change. Right circumstances, people, and environments are going to start coming into your life so you can ultimately achieve the things that you'd like to achieve. So I hope you guys enjoyed this podcast. As always, you can find me on all my social media outlets at Grant Mitt. Hope you guys have an incredible week, and we'll see you guys again for episode 110. Thank you, guys.